Welcome back, warrior. We are on 2nd Nephi chapter 18. Oh, smack. I just forgot I needed to close the door. We will do that together. Just because we are here. Also, really funny story is that we are still trying to catch up because I miscalculated how long it was going to take me to read these scriptures. So I apologize in advance if you might feel like I'm reading them too fast and you like a certain favorite part. You can totally stay in that part. You do not need to go at the pace that I am going. But if you're like, I also need to catch up and don't want to spend too much time on these verses, then I'm your gal. So, and really quick, I just have like a personal update, I guess. So you guys, you know that my husband I told you that my husband was making a movie, or has made a movie, and was entered into some festivals. Anyway, we just had the Zion's Film Festival and we won third place for best feature film. And it was awesome that we won something, because there was a lot of great films shown, and just like a humbling experience to have that opportunity. There's another movie called Faith of Angels, and we tied for third place. And just to have those two movies up against each other, I was just like or up next to each other was like, I mean, they were against each other, but they were next to each other because we tied with them. I mean, those filmmakers and talent are so experienced compared to our film, where we're like super new at everything. And it's my husband's first movie that he's written and directed, and so like it's just really cool, really awesome film festival that we were able to participate in, and still seeking distribution, so you can't really see the movie yet, but you definitely will be able to see the trailer. I will put a link to that in here, so that you know. Okay, so I'm just making a note so I don't forget to put that in here, because sometimes I forget things and you probably get annoyed with that, but I apologize. So here we are. We are on chapter, or 2nd Nephi chapter 18. Okay. There was one other thing that I did want to mention, and it is from the manual. And really quick, I don't take too much time on looking at the manual's teaching tips, but they are so good this time. And I wanted to share one from chapter 15, so I apologize because we're like a few chapters now ahead of that. But where it says that Satan tries to confuse me about good and evil, and something like an activity that could go well with that would be to show your children something bitter or sour, and such as like a lemon slice or candy, and then read together 2nd Nephi 15:20. How does Satan try to make things that are evil look good? You could also show the first 90 seconds of video, You Will Be Freed, found in the Gospel Library, and then ask like, why does the fisherman disguise his hook? Why does Satan disguise sin? How does Jesus Christ help us avoid being deceived by Satan? Like, hello, I love this. This is awesome stuff to teach our kids. So I am going to do that tomorrow for Family Home Evening. And I don't care that it's part of like the old scriptures that we just passed, but I think that will be super fun to have like that sour sweet comparison. So anyways, wanted to throw that out there because I know sometimes we want some of those ideas. And I will put the idea in the comments so that you can find the link directly to the lesson for that, because it is so good. Okay, now I'm just like writing. You're like, stop. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Here we go. Christ shall be as a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. Seek the Lord, not peeping wizards. I think I always thought that was funny. Turn to the law and to the testimony for guidance. Compare Isaiah chapter 8. Okay. Moreover, verse 1, moreover, the word of the Lord said unto me, Take thee a great roll, and write in it with a man's pen concerning Meher Shalal-Hashbaz. And I took unto me faithful witnesses to record Uriah the priest and Zechariah the son of Jeberechiah. And I went unto the prophetess, and she conceived and bare a son. Then said the Lord to me, Call his name Meher Shalal-Hashbaz. For behold, the child shall not have knowledge to cry, My father and my mother, before the riches of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria shall be taken away before the king of Assyria. Okay, this is a funny word, and we're going to read a little bit more about that. What does the redheaded hostess say about this? It says, Ahaz did not make an alliance with Israel and Syria, but he did not heed Isaiah's counsel to trust that the Lord will protect Judah. Instead, Ahaz asked the Assyrians, aka the enemy, for protection against Israel and Syria. Since Ahaz refused to heed Isaiah's counsel, Isaiah will now turn to the people and try to get them to obey the Lord. The Lord tells Isaiah to take a great roll, which is better translated into a tablet, probably a metal tablet, which would cause the prophecy to be permanent. Isaiah has two sons, Meher Shalal-Hashbaz and Sher-Jashub. Isaiah's wife, the prophetess, gave birth to Meher Shalal-Hashbaz. His name meant to speed to the spoil, or he hasteneth the prey. See Scripture's footnote. Which was the fate of Judah. The name of Isaiah's son was a reminder to Judah of their future destruction. That's crazy. Why would you name your son that? Right? I don't know. I guess he probably didn't know what it meant at the time, I'm guessing. Because if the Lord's like, you need to call your son this name, and then you don't know what it is, but you're like, okay, I'll make sure. And then later you're like, wait a minute, that was not a good idea to name him that. But I mean, what are you going to say? Right? Okay, so the Lord spake also unto me again, saying, Forasmuch as this people refuseth the waters of Shiloah, that go softly and rejoice in Rezin and Remaliah's son. Now therefore, behold, the Lord bringeth up unto them the waters of the river strong and many, even the king of Assyria and all his glory, and he shall come up over all his channels and go over all his banks. And he shall pass through Judah, he shall overflow and go over, he shall reach even to the neck, and the stretching out of his wings shall fill the breadth of thy land, O Emmanuel. Okay, so the waters of Shiloah were gentle flowing waters that provided life-sustaining water to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. In this context, the water symbolized the Lord's guidance and the spiritual source for the people. Since the people were rejecting the source, another river, the Assyrians, will flood or attack their land. In 701 BC, the Assyrians did indeed enter into Judah and attack many cities, but they did not attack Jerusalem. Okay. Verse 9, Associate yourselves, O ye people, and ye shall be broken in pieces. And give ear, all ye of far countries, gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces. Gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces. Take counsel together, and it shall come to naught. Speak the word, and it shall not stand, for God is with us. For the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, Say ye not a confederacy to all to whom this people shall say a confederacy, neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid. Okay, so it says that Isaiah is warning the people against making any alliance with any world power. If they do, they will regret it. They need strength, but it is not found in other countries. And the Lord will give them the strength they need. He will be their protective rock of offense and a sanctuary for the righteous. But to the wicked, he is a stone of stumbling or something that gets in their way. right? Because when you're wicked, the truth, it's because what did we learn? That the wicked take the truth to be hard. And so that makes sense. Okay, and it says that these prophecies now recorded are a witness to the people. Notice the phrase in verse 17, I will wait upon the Lord. The Lord is their only true assurance. He is the only source that will truly help them. Don't wait upon a worldly leader, weapons, money, and army, etc. Wait upon the Lord, and he will come. He will answer. He will deliver. Okay, so I skipped ahead on the commentary, but we will read the scriptures that go with it. Okay, verse 13. Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And many among them shall stumble and fall, and be broken, and be snared, and be taken. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples, and I will wait upon the Lord that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Oh, I like that. Do we look for him? Do we look for him in our lives? Behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel, for the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion. And I love that statement, that the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and for wonders. If you are someone who is able to take care of children or has had children, you know that the children that we are stewards over are for signs and for wonders from the Lord, right? Like just picturing all of our children and the cute faces, like all the children that in my family, and then the children that are in our extended family, and then the children that I've been able to serve as primary president, and the children who are young women who I've been able to serve as young women's president. Like just looking, like picturing them in my mind just helps me know that the Lord does have just wonders and just like amazing miracles waiting because of them, right? And then verse 19 says, and when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and mutter, should not a people seek unto their God for the living to hear from the dead? To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them, and they shall pass through it hardly bestead and hungry, and it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their God, and look upward. And they shall look unto the earth, and behold trouble and darkness, dimness of anguish, and shall be driven to darkness. Okay, so it says these prophecies now recorded are a witness to the people. Notice the phrase in verse 17, I will wait upon the Lord. The Lord is their only true assurance. He is the only source that will truly help them. Don't wait upon a worldly leader, weapons, money, or army. Wait upon the Lord. Oh, remember I read that already. And then it says, these verses warn of seeking after other sources for spiritual guidance. If they do so, they will be led astray. Isaiah has recorded these words. The law and the testimony and any other forms of spiritualism will bring trouble and darkness. That's facts. Okay, so that is the end of chapter 18. And I was going to read to you this, read it, live it. And it says, Isaiah speaks of the waters of Shiloah, waters that heal softly, and yet the people refuse them, preferring an alliance with Assyria, the enemy. The waters of Shiloah represent Jesus Christ. Watch for his gentleness today. Ooh, love that so much. Sometimes we are so harsh with ourselves. And I have to remind myself, how would Jesus Christ speak to a child? And how would I speak to a child? And that's how I need to speak to myself. And sometimes I'll even remind my kids, is that how Christ would speak to so and so, your sibling? Right? And I mean, yeah, we're not perfect, but we can certainly strive to be, right? And so so yeah, and aren't we the worst? We're just like the worst to ourselves. And so if we can not just watch for his gentleness today, but also seek to be gentle with ourselves today, would be such a blessing. Okay, so that is it for this episode, and we will see you in the next episode. Stay strong, warrior.